Hello and welcome everybody. This is really exciting. I'm so happy to see so many of you coming is my sound working? You can see me and I'm working? Okay. And I'm just so happy that you come, and there's a lot of questions that came before this. So this is the first time we have a forum for all you instructors from different country, different levels, different time, past, present instructors. The first question is about teaching skill and strategy and tips and teaching beginner students. I'm assuming that's all about teaching beginners. So how do you teach beginners? Well, that's so important because, people come to you nowadays, people are so impatient. When they look at your website, in 9 seconds, if you don't attract them, they're gone. So it's really good that Tai Chi for Beginners, the free video and introduction, by now we have 9 million people who look at it, and there is a big percentage in terms of website rate, big percentage of people who actually stay for 50 minutes, which is the whole section. So that was really good. Nonetheless, people are impatient, and if you have a chance to see them first time as a beginner, and if they don't come back, well, then you don't see them anymore. So that's so important. I think certainly you want to prepare yourself, maybe even rehearse your lesson, and you want to be comfortable with yourself, be happy to greet people, and try not to talk too much about yourself. In fact, the only thing you should talk about yourself is what you can do to help them fulfill their objective. So that goes to say, you need to know what beginners looking for, and then what qualification, what experience you have that you can help the beginner. And I think Tai Chi is an art of doing. I think it's important for us not to talk forever for beginners. So there are certainly experience, that your passion, your feeling, and so on. But I think the important thing is to understand why people come and try to tell them what you have that you can help them to get there. And then the teaching, it should be good. It should be simple. The wonderful thing about Tai Chi is that Tai Chi has so much depth. So, you can teach a little bit of Tai Chi, and people with different range or learning abilities can get something out of it. So that's my tip for beginner in a very quick way. But of course, my book, Teaching Tai Chi Effectively, took me 5 years to write. And I thought it was a piece of cake. I mean, I teach all the time. I love teaching. I seem to be successful in my teaching. To write a book about teaching, just like that. But it wasn't. When it start organizing, thinking what to put in, what not to put in, what examples. I like lifetime examples, real examples, that what works and what didn't work. So what to include? I have so much experience, so many memories, that that's the book, Teaching Tai Chi Effectively. Took 5 years, and then we sold out very quickly. So Maureen, a wonderful writer, worked with me. We took 2 years to revise it and add more to that. And since then, the book has been has been very helpful. This is a really interesting question about multiple levels instructions. So when you have a composite class, participants from different experience, background, how do you handle that? Well, that is challenging. And I think there's one rule in life, that when there's a challenge, usually if you work to overcome that challenge, you get more rewards. And so in a way, there's reward for you when we overcome that challenge. So different stages can mean different things. You can have people who's been doing Tai Chi for 20 years and people who just started. You can have just 10 minutes to teach these people. You can have 1 hour every week for the next 10 years. So it depends on the circumstances, your time, whether you have assistants, how much time you have. Then you modified it. We certainly try to find something that everyone can learn something from it. On the other hand, realize your limitation. If you try to please everybody, when you try too hard to please everybody, you please nobody. So you need to work out something and then utilize the amazing quality of Tai Chi, because they got so much depth. Using that, and the key is try not to teach too much. More ways to teach principles. Well, yes, there's so many ways to teach principles. I would say the most important way is teach through yourself. I spend a lot of time trying to understand the principle, and you practice that principle. And once you really understand it, I think you also see the simplicity of it as well as the depth. So when you teach, you could teach the more simple model. For me, it's most important not to get carried away and trying to say so many ways and dazzle people with their wonderful knowledge. That more likely put people off. But perhaps if you can practice explain one theory and get people to practice with you straight away, let's say slow, or let's say song, and you explain it, and then we work together. For example, song, you don't have to teach song the whole body. You can just focus on hey, everybody to song your spine is being upright but not tense. And you might even explain like, as though there's a string pulling your head up. Okay, everybody, let's do that and feel that. Book reading list. I guess you are talking about reference. In that case, in the teaching book, I also give references of useful books and useful reference to help us. How do you generate interest? Start from yourself. When you enjoy helping people, when you enjoy the Tai Chi, start with people closest to you, actually. Words of mouth is the most powerful advertisement. And I'm going to say again, the teaching book talk about that as well in much more detail than what I can do now. It's much easier to explain, and sometimes you don't even have to explain. You demonstrate by what you do, and people will get that feeling, that sense. So there are certainly different ways to teach depth, and of course, I know some of you been my exploring the depth workshops, and you can definitely. I did a virtual exploring the depth of Tai Chi for arthritis workshop, and it's available on the online Tai Chi workshop, that you can access that and feel like you were there with me. And the key, again, is not to teach everything. If you went to my workshop, that's a concentrated workshop for people who already know and already reasonably advanced. One lesson that week, I will focus on moving slow, explain the advantage and how to feel it, and then I get people to do a few moves with me that they know slowly, and get them to feel it. And that is what I would do for a week or maybe two before I move on to moving smoothly. Okay, I will just read a few more questions. And what's the benefit of Tai Chi? Virtually, it's almost any aspect of health, especially the mental part of health. Especially now, under the lockdown, there are really strong studies who show Tai Chi improve immunity. And there's also lots of really strong studies to support Tai Chi, help people to be more calm, less depressed, and more positive. So that is special, but nonetheless, it's definitely shown to prevent falls, relieve pains of arthritis, and more than 1,000 studies being published with Tai Chi's benefit to people. Bye.